brutal massacre in Japan. The unsolved case of the Setagaya family.
On the night of December 30, 2000, in a quiet Tokyo neighborhood, an entire family was brutally murdered inside their home. The killer didn't just break in, commit the crime, and flee. He stayed in the house for hours, eating food from the fridge, using the family's computer, and even changing clothes before disappearing into the night. Despite leaving behind DNA, fingerprints, and even his clothes, the murderer has never been identified. This is the chilling, unsolved case of the Setagaya Family Massacre. The victims were the Miyazawa family. Mikio Miyazawa, 44, the father, worked for an advertising company. Yasuko Miyazawa, 41, the mother, was a kind and devoted homemaker. Nina Miyazawa, 8, the daughter, a bright and cheerful child. Rei Miyazawa, 6, the youngest, who sadly had a speech impairment. Their home was located in Setagaya, a quiet suburb of Tokyo. Their house was scheduled for demolition due to an urban renewal project, meaning they were one of the last families still living in the area. On the evening of December 30, neighbors recall hearing loud noises coming from the Miyazawa home. But in a big city like Tokyo, no one suspected anything unusual. The next morning, Yasuko's mother tried calling the house but got no answer. Concerned, she went over to check on them, and what she found was horrifying. Inside the house, the entire Miyazawa family was brutally murdered. Mikio, the father, had been stabbed multiple times, his body found at the bottom of the stairs. Yasuko and Nina, the mother and daughter, had also been stabbed repeatedly. Rei, the youngest child, had been strangled to death. The crime was violent and personal. The killer used a sashimi knife, which he later left at the scene. He had stabbed Yasuko and Nina with so much force that the blade had broken inside Yasuko's body. But the most chilling detail? The killer didn't leave immediately. He stayed in the house for hours. The intruder showed no fear of getting caught. He ate ice cream from the fridge and drank tea. He used the family's computer, even attempting to buy tickets to a theater play. He left his clothes behind, including a sweatshirt, a scarf, and even a hip bag. He wiped himself with a towel from the house and used the toilet without flushing. He cut himself during the attack, leaving his blood and DNA at the crime scene. This was not a normal break-in. It was almost as if he felt comfortable in the house. But why? Police found crucial evidence, yet the case remains unsolved. Footprints. The killer wore a rare type of Schlesinger shoe, only sold in South Korea. Clothing. His sweatshirt and bag were mass-produced, but mainly in Japan and Korea. Blood type. His DNA suggested a mix of East Asian and European ancestry. No fingerprints. He avoided leaving prints, suggesting he wore gloves at certain points. Despite all this evidence, no match was ever found in Japan's DNA database. This has led to multiple theories about who the killer might be. Wandran, a random drifter? Some believe the killer was a homeless person or traveler who broke in and attacked the family impulsively. But this seems unlikely because of how calm and methodical he was after the crime. Two of a Korean or foreign hitman? The Korean manufactured clothing and shoes led some to speculate he was a South Korean assassin. However, this theory lacks strong evidence. 3-1, a personal vendetta. Some theorists believe the murderer knew the Miyazawa family and had a motive, but no clear enemies or threats were ever identified. Whatever the truth may be, the killer vanished without a trace. Over 20 years later, the Setagaya Family Massacre remains one of Japan's most infamous unsolved crimes. Despite over 250 tips received by police, the killer was never found. A 20 million yen reward, about 150 USD, was offered for any leads, but no solid evidence has surfaced. Every year, on the anniversary of the crime, authorities release updates, hoping for a breakthrough. Who was the mysterious intruder? Why did he stay in the house for so long? And why, despite all the evidence, has he never been identified? Until these questions are answered, the Setagaya Family Massacre will remain one of Japan's greatest mysteries. What do you think happened that night? Was this a targeted attack? Or a random act of violence? Let us know your theories in the comments. If you found this case interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update on unsolved cases like this one.